Welcome back, everyone. Today it's all about the gameplay. Now, last time we went over Zara's lore and some essential parts of his kit, and now we're going to show you how you can use those in an actual fight. Now, as always, please be aware that this is still pre-alpha footage, so you'll probably see tons of unsightly bugs or missing polish, and all I can say is just please bear with us. We're getting there, but it's just going to take some time. Alright, now as you're watching, let me quickly go over what type of fighter Zara is and how it compares to some of the others we're working on. Now, our goal for Zara was to make him one of the best all-around fighters. And that means that he has a great balance of power and speed and reach and defense. In fact, this is one of the reasons we're introducing Zara first. Now, as you can see, Zara has a bow, which can shoot really far when charged up, but the majority of his attacks are short to mid-ranged. And although he can move pretty quickly, many of his attacks can be punished if you miss. So don't. Oh, and I realize we also haven't done any videos yet explaining the different arenas or their hazards, but there's one thing I'll quickly point out about this arena, which is called Capricia. That water you see around a crystal will actually slow you down if you walk in it. So that's not a bug, I swear, it's a feature. And also, because it will expand and contract throughout the match, Capricia forces more aerial play. Now, we also haven't done a full introduction for any of the other fighters yet, so let me quickly introduce everyone. The winged guy with a massive sword is Keratin, and the rock monster-looking fighter is Gallus. And in addition to these, we have 3 more fighters that we're super excited to reveal in the next couple of weeks. But anyway, if you pay close attention, you'll notice that different fighters take different amounts of damage, even when hit by the same attack. And that's because of what we call damage resistance. You can think of this as like a passive ability or like a stat that's unique for each fighter. And in addition to damage resistance, each fighter also has force resistance, which basically determines how far they'll fly off from attacks. Of course, as you can probably guess, Gallus has the most damage and force resistance of the current fighters, by far. But surprisingly, Keratin's defenses are weaker than Zara's, despite their sizes. And this gets into a bit of the lore as well, but we'll come back to that in future videos. So, when Zara fights Gallus one-on-one, it's probably not a good idea to start with a combo, simply because Gallus won't even be phased by the attacks, and will probably just pick you up and toss you around like a ragdoll. However, once you've been able to take down some of Gallus's health, you can start to do some really cool juggling combos. Keratin is on the other end of that spectrum. Because Keratin has lower resistances and a slower ground speed, Zara players are more likely to rush him. But surprisingly, the difficulty here is in catching the bugger, because Keratin is exceptionally good at aerial combat and can use his super high jumps and floatiness to his advantage. And Zara vs. Zara is just an insane battle of speed and positioning where you try to lure your opponent into committing on an attack, and then block or dodge it, and then punish the crap out of him. Of course, when you start fighting with more than 2 players, the game changes completely, so we really think there's a ton of potential for the meta to develop over the years, especially as we add more and more fighters. The last thing I want to say about Zara is just that he is a ton of fun to play. I mean, while we definitely see him as a very viable, competitive fighter one-on-one, we also think he's someone that even a beginner can just pick up and have a lot of fun with. And really, that's our main objective for Killmaster. More than anything, we want players to have fun exploring different fighters and making their own creative combos, like this one. And I'll be honest, it took me a long time to get this one right, and it wasn't even the exact combo I was going for. But that's okay, because being good at Killmaster isn't about repetitive inputs. It's about thinking on your feet and improvising. Alright, I'm afraid we're almost out of time for this video, but here at the end, I have a really exciting announcement. On March 27th, we'll be launching the Kickstarter for Killmaster. So if you think the game looks interesting and you want to learn more, you can check out our website or go directly to our Kickstarter page. You can also subscribe here or follow us on other social media. All the links will be in the description below. Of course, if you have any friends who may also be interested, definitely share it with them. We'd love to see them as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.